Happy Monday, everyone. Let's get going. I have a plan for today's session. So we're gonna have a quick look at the calendar and see what news is gonna come out this week because this is likely to move the market. Then we're gonna have a look at the S&P and the DXY. Again, just a quick look, just an informative look, because the S&P hasn't started yet and the DXY only moved a little bit during last night's Asia session. So we need to just to inform ourselves of where these are. And then we're going to do the trade setups from the 4-hour for BTC and ETH. I think we are on the verge of a breakout. We are moving quite close to the support, too close to the support, in my opinion, to break to the upside. But there are indications of a break to the upside, in which case, of course, I'm going to map out the confirmations. At the moment, if last night it was looking like we were going to break to the upside, but now I've changed my opinion and I'm right in the middle. I can't call any direction at the moment. I will wait for a confirmation to either side to show itself, because we are holding the same space, we're holding the support, we're holding the resistance, and as long as we're holding both, it's just a choppy market where the market makers are collecting liquidity both ways. I've kept myself safe from losing anything in this choppiness, but I would be equally cautious the week that's starting today as well. So after the trade setups, I'm going to speak about traps, bull traps and bear traps along the 50 MA on the 4-hour for XRP. Initially, I wanted to do both XRP and ETH, but then I thought that it would be a good exercise for you guys to do ETH yourselves on the 4-hour, because that gives you an idea of the direction that the coin is going to take on the 1-hour swings. So I'll show you XRP, which is trickier than ETH because of the choppiness. It has fewer levels than ETH, and you can do XRP, ETH and BTC and post them in the chats, and I can have a look and check. So let's start with the news. Today we only have a little bit of news. Empire State Manufacturing Index, it is coded red, so it should be bringing a little bit of volatility. It's not one of those big movers in the market, but again, because of how the weekend has been ranging, we can expect any news to be an incentive for the market to move, if of course the market makers have collected enough liquidity. Then we have Tuesday, which is, I think, when the real action is going to start, because we have the core retail sales and the retail sales for the USD. We also have for the Canadian dollar the CPI, and we know that the Canadian dollar trades against the American dollar, so that is likely to move the American dollar, and if it moves the American dollar, then we are likely to see a move in the coins as well. Again, I'm always saying you should take this with a pinch of salt, because it depends on a lot of factors, and coins seem to have their own movement these days. So we need to be mindful of how they're behaving individually and how they're holding their support and resistance individually. It doesn't matter what they do on a regular basis. If you are looking for a trade setup, look at your own coin and map out its own pattern, its own individual levels. Wednesday, no big thing on Wednesday except for the pound CPI in the morning, which is again likely to bring a little bit of volatility in the market. We have building permits from the states side, but it is a medium impact piece of news. Thursday, we have the unemployment claims, and we know that the unemployment claims are generally a big thing, because this is one of the areas the Fed is working on improving and by improving I mean bringing it down, because by bringing it down, it's gonna bring a leveling out in the inflation. So again, we have to mind our trades Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I am at the moment trading on I'm trading XRP, and I'm using 15-minute entries, doing 1 hour swings. So I am quite cautious to be trading these in the high volume periods of the week, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's when the trend on the 1 hour is set and developed, and then Thursday when we have our correction. So it should give us 2 1 hour trades that are quite hefty in a range. At the moment, again, for ETH, I don't have a position. I am looking for a position once it shows direction. Okay, now let's have a look at the S&P and how it closed on Friday. On Friday, ETH, BTC, and the S&P closed on down candles. Closing on down candles means that Monday's trend is likely to be down. There are commentators saying that the rally is over and that there will be a massive correction coming. And again, traders should be careful, because what's happened here on the daily chart for the S&P is we've had 3 peaks. This is generally a liquidity hunt formation before a correction. Higher highs, higher lows, enticing longs to go long, liquidity to be committed to the upside, and then pull downs, stop losses and liquidations are hit depending on the leverage and the trading strategy. So the S&P does not look healthy to me. We are likely to see a correction. But I have been saying this for a while, and again, I've been humbled by all these peaks. And again, just like any analyst, I would say I'm not wrong in saying what it looks like to me, but I will hold off calling a direction until the confirmation shows. So until I have the 20 MA and EMA and or breaking on the daily for the S&P, which is the main support. For instance, here it is the orange line. Let me just switch off Traders Reality so that you see it. The orange line is the 20 MA, midline of the Bollinger. So you can see how it's been holding price action and helping it rise. So until this is broken and confirmed, here was broken and confirmed, downturn was likely. Here was broken and confirmed, downturn was likely. Here was broken but not confirmed because the second day didn't. So here was a trap, here was a trap, here wasn't even a trap because there was no confirmation, no second day closing. So until we have something along the lines of what happened here and what happened here, so 2 days lower lows happening on the daily, we can't call a correction, technically speaking. But it does look like the daily momentum is getting exhausted. Now, what's the DXY doing? The DXY is holding a monthly level of support at 99.6. I will show it to you on the monthly. Here it is. I had this line slightly higher, I believe, and then I moved it to this level to fit this here and to fit this here. So this is a monthly level of support that it's set in 2015, so it goes way back then. Now, if this holds and it bounces off here, it looks like it's going to challenge the peak. That's what I believe would happen. However, we don't have any turn on the monthly stochastic to indicate a change in momentum. We don't have any turn on the weekly stochastic to indicate a change in momentum. And the daily as well is close to being reaching the bottom, but it hasn't yet turned. So no confirmation yet, no confirmation from either the S&P, no confirmation from the DXY as well. Okay. Now, when we have confirmation that the DXY is holding some support on the daily, I believe that's not going to be good news for the coins or the S&P. At the moment, the DXY is favoring lower lows, and lower lows means higher highs for the S&P and the coins. Again, take it more as a background info. You check individually your levels for the coins that you're trading. Now, let's set the trades for BTC and ETH. I'm going to try to be concise today because there's no point repeating information that I've been saying or putting up. You can see this beautiful sideways, beautiful, absolutely algorithmic information. And we have been moving like so. This is the 4-hour time frame in a 5% range. That would be the max. So 5% range is nothing on the 4 hours. So it's not even worth trading on the 4 hours, not in this sideways, because it keeps draining your mental focus and not giving you profits in return. So that's why I stopped trading BTC. I do map it out for the general direction of the market. So as you can see here, my main I'm gonna change the resistance line to here because it has been invalidated. I'm gonna remove the weekend levels, and I'm gonna adjust the technical targets ever so slightly. I am more on the conservative side as a trader. Again, it's the level of risk that I am happy to take, and that allows me to stay non-reactive. Because again, it's not a matter of emotional control, it's a matter of risk management. If you need to control your emotions, that means you're risking too much, whether you're risking too much of your capital or whether you're risking the profit that you've made. So when you feel those emotions coming up, it has nothing to do with stoicism, as in trying to put a brake on them. It has everything to do with the level of risk that you're taking. So it should be a red flag that you're taking too much risk. So now let's set some trades. Now I won't be trading BTC, so I won't be putting up any entries for BTC on the chats, but I would be putting a path. And the current path would be, of course, the big 30K. Now, I will be going down to 26 because that's the next level of support and resistance. 28 would be, I'm sorry, that's the hardest to master in terms of squiggly patterns. I would be looking at 26 as my target because this is the next level of support and resistance, rather than just the technical target of this. Of course, if you want to be super cautious about your profit, and if you're going in with a bigger capital on breakout, then by all means, feel free to secure your profit at 28.2. But I would be following it down because I believe it is going to come down to 26, 27K area. If it breaks, and I will color code. There we go. Now, how do we gain an entry here? Well, the safest way to gain an entry is to wait for this breakout and the back test. However, I have seen very few back tests lately, which has been a major issue for me, causing quite a bit of frustration for XRP. There have been very few back tests. And because there have been very few back tests, I would be looking, and I will be more precise when I do the ETH trade setup. to have an order set up, and that order would have would be breaking this previous low and then having a tight 5% stop loss. Now it might take 2 or 3 stop losses for me to get into that, but I wouldn't be trading a breakout without a stop loss. I would, like, imagine if you had, for instance, traded this lift on break of the previous high without a stop loss. You would be all the way down here, and right now you would be let's say you entered here because you thought it was breaking out, you would be in a minus 50%, almost 60% position with at a 10x. Not a good position to be in. However, if you had a 5% stop loss, let's say you get in here, you get knocked out, wait. Once you get knocked out of such a trade, what I would do is I would be waiting on the 4 hour for the next breakout, because it's either gonna go the way XRP went, boom, super 4 hour candle up, another 4 hour candle up, if it has that sort of momentum. But if it lacks that sort of momentum, and if it is a trap, it's going to do something along these lines. And of course, it might do something in between, as in a big candle up and then another candle down. However, waiting in between those entries is a way for you to keep your perspective. And again, I'm talking about 4 hour positions here because we are consolidating on the 4 hour time frame. We have 3 peaks, 3 hits to the high, 3 hits to the low outside of the first swing. I don't take this low as a swing. I only take this peak. So outside of that, we have been preparing for this. So I would be waiting for this, for the previous low to break, putting a tight stop loss of 5%, and I would be waiting for the start of New York. That was another thing that I want to say. If there is going to be a breakout, it's going to be when liquidity is max, which is generally when London and New York merge. So we have about 90 minutes at the start of New York when they merge and they finish this move. For instance, if a correction downwards has started, it's very likely that London and New York will finish it in the first part of the session. So that's when I would be looking to put a position. It looks like we're making a move right now. We are in between London and New York, so London might just be breaking this. New York might be back testing it, which would be a lovely technical trade to make. Again, 2 options here. You can wait for the back test, or you can put an order with a tight stop loss. If you choose option 2, an order with a tight stop loss, please, again, not financial advice, waiting is essential to see how it's going to move, because we are in a liquidity collecting market. Okie dokie. Now, for the up move, we are in a better position because we are quite close to resistance, and resistance is the 20 EMA on the 4 hour, and this would be the pathway up. And again, I would be following the 35k target, but 33.6 is where it might stop a little bit to consolidate. It is so hot in here, guys. You have no idea. No air conditioning is handling the heat wave in continental Europe. So here again, I would be looking to put, and I'll be again specific, I'd be looking to put an order on to the 20 EMA on the 4 hour when it breaks with a tight stop loss. When it breaks, I'm talking about that second 4 hour candle. So I'm not talking about the first 4 hour candle. I'm talking about the second 4 hour candle, like so. When this starts to lift above the previous high on the 4 hour, putting a tight stop loss underneath it, 5%, not more where we are right now, because of all this choppiness. So in this situation, having that 5% would give you the chance to follow it up if it is going to continue up, or reset if it's not. So the up would give us a little bit more entry space and a little bit more. It should give us a couple of occasions to enter this long. And you have two options. As for the short, wait for the back test or go in on an order. If you go in on an order, remember, risk management is key. Repetition. Look at ETH going down to the M0. Where is my XRP? Okay, there it is. Okay. I'm currently in a short, and XRP. I took a 702 entry here. Didn't give it to me here, gave it to me here. But I'm waiting for this to do at least a 786 correction down to the previous 702 correction of the previous 1 hour swing down to, I'll tell you in a second, at least 69.2, down to the low ADR. Okay, now, sorry, I was just watching this. Okay, quite a pushback of the psychological high at the moment. Now let's do the same for ETH, and let's see where ETH is. Again, we have a little bit of a divergence gameplay happening right now. Now we are breaking this divergence line. I'm gonna take this path from here. I'm gonna take this one as well. So we have two options here. I would be waiting for that second red candle and placing a tight stop loss upon entry. That's what I'm looking to do in about 3 hours, and that should give me enough time. Let me check. New York starts at 4:30 my time. 4:30 my time. Yes, that's it. That is the 3 hours. That is the 3 hours 3 hour mark. Okay, so here I would be looking to put an order in when the 4 hour. Oh, again, my path. Okay, when the 4 hour continues. At the moment, I don't have a position in ETH. I am looking to get one though. Again, I will be sorting these out because I tend to be on the conservative side in terms of measuring targets. Okay, there it is. 1650 is a big number for ETH, and I have seen liquidity maps with a lot of liquidity around that mark. So that would be the target that I would be following for okay. Let's see if this is. Okay, so one way of trading this breakout is, of course, the back test. No news there. Another way would be going in on the next candle with a tight stop loss, following it down. The key here to me is the stop loss, because I have been caught in fake breakouts, which are just liquidity hunts in the opposite direction, and they have caught my capital, and I couldn't actually follow price action as it moved the other way around. Okie dokie. For this would be the short way the short option, and the long option would be getting above the 20 EMA, breaking the resistance to the upside, and of course finally attacking that 2400 level. Okay, I will color code this, of course, green. So that would be again a more generous entry space for us. The way the market works is generally less intuitive than that. Okay, so these would be the two trade setups, and I know I might have repeated things that you already know. It's good to have the two options in mind because it is quite technical. So you can either go in on the second 4-hour candle that breaks the previous low and put in a tight stop loss, or wait for the back test, which would give you again a position of power. That would be the ideal way. But it depends on whether you are willing to risk that 5%. Okay. Now, let's have a look at the daily stocks and MACD for these two coins, because that would be what would give us an idea. So if we're looking at the waves on BTC, it's not looking good for the daily MACD. It's looking like it's going to continue to the downside. We haven't decreased this. So on Friday, it was looking like this was going to stop, and up until here, until this level, minus 141, it looked like it was going to stop. But then we had yesterday and today lower sell levels, and that is indicating that is indicating continuation. So when we have this, like so, oh, just a second, I was updating some charts and I forgot the extensions on my lines. There we go. So this is showing a continuation of the down. It's not the way it was here, which is a decreasing of the sell volume and a move to the upside. It's the opposite. We are below the 20 EMA on the daily for BTC, so it looks like the daily is down, the MACD is down, the 20 on the daily is lost, but we still have the support of the 30K, 29.4, 29.5, 30K, thereabouts. Was 500 quid between friends here in the cryptoverse. So chances are right now it's going to move down. However, until we close on the daily, we cannot call a direction because it's still sideways. Until we close on the daily below the 20, below the support, it's still going to go sideways. For ETH, now the daily is looking slightly more positive, but we know that ETH can be absolutely explosive in terms of movement compared to BTC. So right now we are seeing that decrease in buy volumes. So a BTC had its ETF approved. So BTC has had its ETF approved by the what's the name? SEC. So it should be lifting, but it's not. Again, it might be a market maker move to manipulate the market into buying, because they're the ones selling right now at premium prices before bringing the market down. So we have the MACD turned down, we have the decreasing volumes turned down. It is what it is. We are still above the 20 MA on the daily. The stock on the daily is still a little bit up, looking to turn down, but not yet turned down. So again, ETH seems to be in a stronger position, but it's not okay there. It's right now in the 1800 area, and we've done this triple top formation, 1940, 1980, 2020. From 1940, less than 100, consolidated for a month almost and gone nowhere. So this is a consolidation for a drop, a consolidation for a correction formation, but we are still in a similar horizontal consolidation pattern. We haven't broken the support at 1820. We haven't broken the resistance at 2130. That's what it is. Okay, that's it for today in terms of levels and trade setups, and I hope I've been comprehensive enough. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chats, because